sometime before I said gay.
Wait, hang on. All right.
Welcome to the dumbest 30 minutes. We found ourselves a new co-host that we've been struggling to find for the past couple of weeks. Mr. Ryan Sanders.
How's it going?
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Brian.
He's been, what's the word? I want to say vacant, but what's a better word?
MIA.
MIA, absent, for very good reason, because he is a new father.
Yep, it's a 3-month-old, so that'll do it to you.
3 months
That'll
today,
keep
right?
you away from everything. So.
Yeah. So hopefully we find more time where we have Ryan Sanders as our other co-host as well. What do you guys want to talk about first? We could continue on from our 63-minute episode last week. So we're talking
Right.
about export and then Orange Theory,
Right.
because that's originally where I met Ryan Sanders, but that's not where you two met.
No,
No.
So we could go down that rabbit hole because this is fun.
we met in 6th grade.
The 6th grade, Hinsdale Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
He had blonde highlights.
I had blonde highlights. I did not have
Holy shit! Sorry, go ahead.
I did not have a Jufro.
Yeah.
I had blonde highlights.
We did not fucking like each other.
We were not friends. We had mutual acquaintances and friends.
What got the two of you to start talking to each other? Like what? Like
Nick Mann,
Yeah, Nick. Mann.
Carmen Napolitano.
so? Were you guys at a party one day, or like
No,
hanging out with friends and
lunch.
Yeah.
Probably lunch.
And that's when you started talking.
Classes. No, that's when we started hating.
Yeah, like we would sit by each other, just hate each other.
By the way, the hate has not stopped. However, 30 years later.
It is converted to some version of love.
Yeah.
And appreciation.
Yes. I am now the mediator of their friend-hate
I think,
love relationship.
I think the first time we hung out, I slept over at your mom's
Yeah.
with Nick Mann.
Yeah.
And you guys fucked with me.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think I woke up and there was like shaving cream, like sand.
Oh yeah. I
From
thought we
your
poured
fish
sand
tank.
on Nick.
Or maybe that wasn't you did that to Nick. But yeah, they just messed with me. And then we just continued hanging out after that. Really,
Yeah, it was fucking weird. We're doing that, and then we just became friends.
Yeah,
But then, we found out we had a lot in common. So
there was a lot in common. Our parents were divorced.
we both spent the weekends with our moms.
Yeah, we'd go to our mom's houses on the weekends, or I was
That's
there
when
every
we
other
did
weekend.
stupid shit.
And we just, with, we like relied on each other to, deal with our mothers.
Yeah.
Moms are hard sometimes.
We didn't spend any time at home when we were on the weekends. We would just be at a card shop or just somewhere else. Sometimes we'd be at home, but yeah.
Yeah, we played Magic the Gathering,
Magic the
Warlord,
Yeah.
Warhammer.
That's really good times.
We
What was a good word?
into the fantasy land of card games and mini figures.
They didn't LARP.
We didn't LARP. No, we weren't that active.
Yeah. It's more stupid shit.
And then
I almost burned his house down,
there was a time when Ryan almost burned down the house. Yes, I remember that.
Let's talk about that. 'Cause I feel like I
Do you
heard this
remember
story.
those
but I
little
forget.
squish, I don't know,
It was like
squishy balls that
and it
are
had like
spiny.
it had
Yeah,
like
okay.
not fur, but it was like
Tentacles.
rubber tentacles.
Yes. And like you push on it and it would like expand. in another
Yes,
spot, right?
yes.
So I lit it on fire.
Okay.
Well, let's preface it. So usually, what would happen when Marie would not be home, and
This is when we were with our mother. So I was never at my mom's. His mom wasn't there, so we'd be at his house.
she'd be working or who knows, and her husband would be working or whatever, and it would just be 5, 6 kids in a house with an adult with Alzheimer's. So it was just the prisoners ran the prison, and on one great day Ryan decided to light this octopus toy.
Hold up. It originally started. That was the last of everything that happened that day. Your brother started it with the fireworks.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Fireworks getting like taking the mortars out, stuffing them in toys, and throwing them out the window in the bedroom in the backyard. And one of those mortars was massive, and the entire backyard lit up.
This is Eric Rosen, the Duke of Chicago. Shout out to the Duke.
To the Duke.
Episode
Maybe
2.
we'll call him. We'll call him in a little bit.
And then after that, I don't know how the hell it happened, but we just kept going with the pyrotechnics, and I lit that ball on fire and rolled it
Inside
and turned
another
into, like,
bedroom.
napalm, so like it would just stick everywhere and stay on fire.
On the carpeted floor. And then,
it just melted.
so that happened, and Ryan left.
Yeah, I ran.
He
Got the
ran.
fuck out of the house.
He left us, and my stepfather came home from work or whatever, and my stepbrothers were, letting him know what had happened. And all I remember is my stepfather came up to me and was like, so what happened? I was like, I don't know. I really don't know what to tell
You
you.
weren't really there. It was just me and Eric.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
We walked away after.
It was a pretty big house. There was 3, 4, like 5. There was like 5 bedrooms on the second floor. So whenever anybody was like tired of wanting to, take part in the, unplanned activities of the day, you just kind of went back to your room or you hung out on the first floor. And I think that's probably what I did at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I don't know what happened. And then he's like, where's Ryan? Because they had no problem letting him know who did what. And I was like, I don't know where Ryan is.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
But it didn't
Someone was
matter.
gonna tell.
What was the overall damage that came from
Just a
this
few
napalm?
burns. Just a few burns in the carpet.
Yeah, I think
Some trauma. I think for his grandmother, she had no fucking idea. It was like a war zone in there for her. So
well, she forgot, and probably within about 45 minutes, she loved everybody again. So that's a whole nother story on how things were handled in that.
So somebody comes home and they see burn marks all over their carpet.
And they were alerted that it was like the swarm of younger children let them know right away who was at fault for what. Though honestly, like all 5 of us or 6 were at fault at one point or another in that span of a few hours. It was probably a Saturday or a Sunday.
yeah,
And
I
then
feel like that's what, when you're younger, I mean, you guys both know my younger brother, and I don't think either of you met my sister, but either way, there was one time we were having a wrestling match, me and Tony. Maybe I threw him in a sharpshooter. He got mad. It's normally what happens. And a lamp got knocked over. And immediately I did the older brother thing, which is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We can't tell mom and dad. What happened? Like, we're start figuring out the story. But if it was him who did something, it was like the opposite, where it was like, well, he did this. He did it right away. He put the lamp out there, like whatever it was. So it's like, I feel like that's as normal as it gets when it comes to like, oh, those are the idiots. They fucking did it, not us. And
Right,
just immediately.
I
Especially
think
when napalm's involved.
rightfully so. I mean, they lived there, however many days a week before they went to their mom's like house or whatever. So they rightfully so wanted to take the blame off themselves because they would have to deal with it because we all would leave. We'd come in for the weekend, Friday night to Sunday or Monday morning, and then we'd be gone for, another week or 2. And who knows what happened in that house during that 2 weeks that, we're all gone. So it was, short-lived, slap on the wrist type of thing for everybody besides Ryan because he left.
well, I mean, I still had to come over at times, and it was still embarrassing.
Yeah.
I hope they forgot.
Oh, I'm sure.
We know the grandma did.
We moved. Well,
sorry.
so it's not. It's kind of funny, but there was a lot of things that occurred. When my grandma would babysit us. And right there, we could talk about that for a minute. You have this woman with Alzheimer's babysitting anywhere from 3 to 6 adolescents who just took advantage of the situation. And the running joke,
We were not good role models for them.
well, yes, but the running joke was you have like a 30-minute window before the adults came home because that's when she would kind of forget what had transpired beforehand. And the master is Eric Rosen. Hands down, I've never seen somebody, just rain down chaos and then somehow just clear all the clouds and sunshine and rainbows comes through within that 30-minute window. And, when Marie would come home, she'd be like, oh, how are things going? And my grandma would be like, oh, it's great. The kids been great. They made me dinner. And little does Marie know that it was, World War VII at that point, the past 6 hours beforehand. And so that was always a big thing.
Was good at that.
He was very good. He was very good at, making that turn. So there was...
Pissed off the kids that came and threw rocks at the garage door. That was your brother.
Yeah, that was. Yes, that was another one.
There was a Teddy's Red Hots or something across the street in a little strip mall. And can't remember exactly. I think his brother said something and they just followed us right back across the street and started throwing rocks at the garage door.
Yep, and then we had to explain that. That was good.
And for once, I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Coincidentally, I'm actually going to be working down that road once I finally start working. There's it's a few years now, I'm assuming, but Advent Health has a clinic where the Dominick's used to be at the end of that strip mall area. So,
You're going to Springfield this Monday?
I am going to Springfield tomorrow.
Right.
And
that's to
raise hell to get my controlled substance license from the state of Illinois.
Rosen 316.
Yes, I am going to prescribe drugs when I'm working.
However, they won't give him a license? Is that
I'm still waiting since April to be awarded my license.
Has filled out all of the paperwork.
Yes.
Sent all the emails.
And they
still haven't given it.
They cleared my check.
He's kicking down the door. He's making this happen.
The nicest way possible, I promise. So that drive will occur tomorrow. What's up?
King of passive aggression.
No, I've learned to utilize tact. That was a big thing I picked up on and learned.
You're welcome.
When I moved to Jersey. Will instill that little by little over the past 12 years we've known each other. But it really was driven into my skull, seeing how a lot of these doctors or other medical professionals I was with my rotations interacted with patients. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be different than them. So I think it's carried over.
Now, is that because of how you'd see them act in front of people and then how they'd act when they weren't around people?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Some of them were great. They had this awesome bedside manner, saw the patient where they were at, would meet them where they were at and knew how to adjust their, dialogue with them. But then there were some who, stereotypical doctor or medical professional and talking down to patients and not meeting them where they're at. So I was like, I don't want to be like that. And learned that the PA has that ability to get rid of that. So
I would love to see some type of video of you talking to a patient.
Well, that would break HIPAA. So
I know that. Obviously. I just want to see if you can change the Brian that comes out for that patient.
Well,
not what we get sometimes.
Well, I'll do my best for you.
Yeah, I'm trying. There's no way to do this legally to see him do it.
It's the Brian face that's just your.
Well, it's coined as the okay. The okay.
Yes.
Okay voice, the okay face, the eyes.
Okay.
Wait, were you there the night we played Yahtzee?
No.
I don't think you were. I think
No,
I
he
told
was
you
not.
this story because I was telling you this story over the microphone when we were playing Xbox, and I feel like you're like holy shit, you do a great impression of him. So it was we're playing Yahtzee with his family, my family, but we were playing Yahtzee, and you play Yahtzee with 5 dice. We had 6. And after we play a whole round, Brian finally speaks up. He goes, okay, I don't care. But
how long was that brewing in you? How long did you notice that you just let that sit before you decided?
Well, we made it around. So
We
maybe
made it a whole round.
10 minutes.
And usually when we play any board games, we all know this, but somebody's forgotten the rules or we go over the rules again. Usually it's you're reading the guide or Eric's reading the guide or something like that.
Well, if Eric reads the guide, then I have to go back over it
yeah,
to confirm.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of different stages in Brian when we play board games.
So with Yahtzee, you're supposed to have 5 dice. We have 6. A whole round goes by, and then that's when Brian stops. He's like, okay, I don't care, but we're only supposed to have 5 dice. But I don't care. We could play with 6. And then that turned into other thing. I don't know how deep into that one you want to go. Because that's when the chant started.
Yes. Yes. The Brian is good.
Yes. Because then after this happens, this turns into, oh, here comes the fun police. We have to, and then Brian gets ridiculed, and then you find out in like 3 seconds why Brian is the way he is. And
because we were playing with the Doctors Rosen,
sponsors,
our sponsors, our only sponsors still.
Yes, still waiting. Fabletics.
I think the Duke of Chicago is sponsoring us as well. I'm pretty sure. He did put down a down payment on his sponsorship as well. He did say that. So thank you to the
Can I
DJ.
just say now that I think about it, like there is no better feeling in the world than watching Jeff Rosen just annihilate Brian when we're playing board games.
Yes.
All day or all night long.
If you want to talk
and
about
then
it,
Gail just chiming in.
Yep. If you want to talk about a trump card, anytime that Brian is on a high horse or on,
he gets put down
or
so
anything,
fast.
There is a Jeff Rosen trump card that can be played, and it's never
Anytime.
the same card. It's never the same card. It just happens, and then everything just gets leveled back down.
I think if you meet my father, you will know within 30 seconds to 2 minutes exactly why I am the person I am.
When he's finally our guest and he's ready for it, everything will come to fruition and to the light. But yeah, so in this situation with Yahtzee, I had no problem with it. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, it's supposed to be 5 dice. I didn't even think about that. But then this turned into Brian is the fun police. Like, oh, we gotta play Brian's rules. And then somehow turns into Brian is good chance. So anytime he got a Yahtzee or a straight or anything, the rest of the table, Brian is good.
Oh, yes.
And you just had to deal with it. All because of the 6 dice. And I bring, just to circle us all back around, the okay and I don't care, but there are certain mannerisms of Brian's that we all know and have come to love or hate sometimes. But it's like, when it comes to bedside manner, I would love to see one of those moments happen. Where somebody comes up and says like, oh, well, I did this, even though you told me to do this. And then Brian's like, okay. And then it just goes from there.
I'll let you guys know in our group chat the day that I drop the okay on a patient.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The text will just come in as it happened.
Yeah, right. We'll know.
You're going to give advice. They're going to give you a little rebuttal. And you're just like, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. There's, yeah.
And no more eye contact. Just done. We're done.
Yeah.
No more eye contact.
Yeah. Did you need any help? Any other help? Good. All right.
I'll wait till
the door's that way.
Yeah. I'll wait till I see somebody, and then I'll give them the eyes, like the big eyes, like this person.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Are you excited for that or nervous?
I'm excited. I'm ready.
Okay.
I've been ready.
Did you give the okay?
No, to work.
To prescribe drugs to people.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going for.
All this work.
Right. Yeah. No. I'm ready. I want to get my hands dirty, so I got to get through that orientation and all that other stuff. So hopefully this next month it all gets figured out. But on the plus side of it, probably a year from now, I'll be like, oh, thank goodness I got an extra month, because when I start, I think it's just we're going to hit the ground running, and then this is like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then I'll be on call at some point, and I'll be like, wow, that extra few weeks off was great.
Yeah.
So
is that how it was in school when you were doing rotations and everything? Did you feel like it was just like Monday through Friday? Like,
oh, so yeah, some were longer than others. There, especially the first one was like 8 weeks. I was like, whoa. But then probably 2 or 3 rotations in, when they were all 4 weeks, I was like, this is way too fast, because, also being in Jersey, I didn't know where I was going, just use the GPS. And probably by the 3rd or almost 4th week, I didn't necessarily need the GPS. And I was comfortable with the drive. I knew where I was going in the hospital, and so, because we'd also switch hospitals. And then it's on to the next one. Or, you figure out how the doctors or other PAs that you're working with or medical staff like how they handle stuff, and then you're like, oh, I got it, but I'll see you later or never. In this case, so it just started rolling right downhill in a good way. And then just once again, right back, pushing back up the hill at this next rotation.
Yeah.
So
So Monday you're going down there.
Monday, yes.
Friday,
Friday.
I believe all three of us are coming in to take the workout.
Sure.
He is now. And we were cleared to expand all classes.
I think it's
So.
a 3 group anyways.
Okay.
But any Orange Theory members out there, Willowbrook, all morning long.
And if you've never taken a class at Orange Theory and you are in the area and you want to take a class,
You will never have a better experience than
Want to have Will go first, and then ease into Ryan coaching.
yeah, his hands aren't as big.
yeah. I feel like that was insulting,
Well,
but whatever. I feel like
Well,
I'm
I didn't mean it as
like
like a literal sense of that his hands aren't as big as mine. Just we'll say the persona.
no, there, yeah.
Yeah, Will is much kinder and is
Well, like we
Ryan
were
is
saying,
as straight-faced and
well, so last
rough as
week,
it comes, but there's a little love behind it. You can feel it.
so
He
last
wouldn't
week,
be taking the time to call you out if you didn't want to.
so last week we were talking about the first time me and Brian met. At some point, I'm sure you've heard this story. But anyways, my thought process was everybody has a first time meeting Brian story. Like the very first time you met him, there's probably something that he said where you're like, "What the fuck's wrong with this guy?" And so
well, it's probably my hair. He probably saw my hair and he's like, "What the fuck is
the
wrong
blonde
with this guy?"
highlights, foreshadowing sort of Kim K. Anyways, it was my first day at Export. I went to go to the protein section to go buy some supplements, and I picked up this bottle of Syntha 6 protein. And he walks up to me, and I met him once, like just a hello at the desk where we would meet our clients. And he comes up to me and he goes,
Hi.
No. He goes,
No.
"What are you doing? You're about to waste $70, dude, or like $60, whatever it was at the time." He goes, "You're about to waste $60." I was like, "Wait, what?"
That's when you worked at GNC too.
I did before.
Yeah, so this must have been after GNC. So he goes at me about how I'm going to waste my money on this. And I took it a little more personally because I love Syntha 6, and that's what I was buying all the time. So I was just going to buy it from there since it was there at my job. And I was like I just remember taking a second back, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to freak out or take it personally. So I asked him what to do, or what should I get? And then he started explaining all the proteins to me. Kind, gentle soul, everything else. But that first sentence of, "What are you doing, dude? You're going to waste $60. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? All right. So that was my first one.
Well, you already know ours.
Yeah.
Fucking hate each other.
Yeah. I think, with Ryan is the way he does things a little bit different than you.
Mhm.
So he just came right at me.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
we
that's
were
also-
like waves just smashing against each other.
So you could say
Yeah.
the same thing about me when you first meet me sometimes. I'm comfortable with you. I could be kind of a dick sometimes.
Yeah, I don't remember having any bad experience to do the first time.
Well, you're
I
Will.
met
That's
you.
why. I mean, that's why me and Brian
Yeah, and to circle this all back, that's why he's saying it's your first
you
class.
hold
Take
us
mine.
together,
But anyways, I have softer edges.
which is
Yes,
not
you
what
would
your
say.
brother would say.
Yeah, let's get Anthony George on the podcast. He'll get on here at
Yeah,
some
he's
point.
a bane of mine. But I love him.
And here we go. And so, anyways, yes, Friday, myself and Brian coaching classes again, like we used to for the past, I don't know. I mean, classes like 11, 12 years.
Right.
Even at Export, I mean, like when you were there, we just have, if one of us wasn't working and the other one had a client, we just sit there and either talk to each other or help the other one train or coach them or whatever. Just fuck around with each other.
I
In
came
front of the
summers-
clients.
What's it?
I came in the summers from school.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when I had to have met you inside of the gym. I don't think
Yeah.
because you and me weren't living together at the time.
No.
So it wasn't like we were living together and Ryan would come over, or when Ryan lived with us for a month or two.
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
Yeah, that's for another episode.
That was during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah. So yeah, that's this upcoming week, Friday, 4th of July. Happy birthday,
Right.
America.
Happy birthday, America.
We're giving you the best birthday present by going OTF Will and Brian.
That's right.
So
WWE events before this episode is over.
Last night, yesterday was Night of Champions. Cody Rhodes beat Randy Orton, King of the Ring 2025. So he gets to face. Well, he's going to call out John Cena. He already said it. Whoever won, John Cena, CM Punk. Which, spoiler alert, John Cena won. Good match, though. So they're having their back and forth, having their match. And then at some point, the referee gets knocked out. And then so CM Punk starts calling for another referee to come down because he just hit him with his finisher. And then Seth Rollins' music hits. And then Seth Rollins comes out with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and I keep forgetting the other guy's name. Big Australian dude. Anyway, Bronson Reed. So they all come down, and they start attacking CM Punk and beating the hell out of him. And they put him through a table. And then they're about to finish him off. And then that's when Penta comes out and fights Breaker. And then Sami Zayn comes out and fights the other guy. And then
There's a lot of people that I don't know.
yeah, a lot of these are newer. But you know Cena and Punk. You probably know Seth Rollins too. But anyways, then Rollins is about to cash in. He's about to make a pin. And he calls the ref down. Referee comes down. The way they did the camera angle here, like the camera's like right here behind me. You see the referee coming down. And then Cena just comes from behind the camera and just levels the referee and knocks him out. And then goes and gets in Rollins' face. And I think he hits Rollins with an attitude adjustment. And then him and Punk in the middle of the ring. So Cena and Punk are in the middle of the ring after all this chaos has happened and everybody's gone. And they shake hands. And he goes to hug him. And then Cena looks right into the camera. And you guys have seen this, but the famous face turn of Cena,
Right.
just before he kicks Cody in the balls, looks at the camera, does the face turn, and then goes to kick Punk in the balls. But Punk blocks it, tries to hit him with a finisher. Rollins comes back in, hits CM Punk with the
Curb stomp.
curb stomp with his finisher. And then just before he goes to cover him, Cena grabs Rollins, throws him out of the ring, and covers Punk, and then leaves with the title.
Oh,
It was like a crazy 5 minutes. It was a very good finish to that. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. But yeah, SummerSlam looks like it'll be Cody versus Cena. And then, Orton wasn't happy when he walked out. They put the camera on his face. And he looked like he was pissed off. So I have a feeling, here's my spoiler alert. I feel like he's going to interfere at SummerSlam to make sure Cody doesn't beat Cena because he wants to be the one to beat Cena.
Oh, so they're going to have another rematch. Or have a rematch.
I'm assuming something like that will happen.
Okay.
Or that'll be how they get Cena to win over. Because every match Cena's had has been him cheating to win or somebody interferes or something happens. So I feel like those continue on that road. But I will say in the middle of the match, there was a point where he could have hit Punk with the title, and he didn't. He put the title down, and it looked like he was going to be a good guy again. And then he did the handshake thing and then changed his face again.
Right,
They keep playing with that whole thing of – he did the same thing with Orton when we saw that. It's like he was about to hit him and then chose not to. Or afterwards, he was listening to the fans. He's trying to turn into a good guy again.
Right.
Yeah, that was it's the WWE update, the big stuff. Anyways, Goldberg's coming back
Oh, man.
July 12th, same as your barbecue. Only Rosens and Liptax. What's that?
We'll do the show there, too.
Yeah, do that.
Wow.
And then
Well, Rose and Liptax Sanders barbecue.
Yes.
I did an alphabetical order so that you...
Beals in.
Liptech.
Right, yes.
Rosensander.
The Lurs.
LRS.
Lurs.
So, yeah. Goldberg, they said it's going to be his last match. So, it'll be a Saturday night's main event.
Special shout out to the sponsors for the Dumbest 30, the Doctors Rosen, the Duke of Chicago. We're still waiting to hear back from Fabletics, Skims, the Kardashians as a whole, Lululemon, UFOs. They're great. I like the slippers.
What are you wearing?
Hurley. I didn't know that brand is still around.
Costco special, baby.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Costco.
Kirkland.
God
damn, dude.
I'm a huge fan. The
Yeah.
Rosens are huge Costco people.
We all buy your
Love
shit.
Costco.
Yeah.
Support the podcast. Anyways, we're coming up on our 30 minutes.
At 9:30 instead of 10:30.
Oh, you're in executive platinum.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So what? You get an hour early entry?
Yeah.
So now they open. So normally they open at 10:30. Now they open at 9:30, and only executive members get to go in.
God damn. Okay.
And some people are pissed in other markets because they used to open up at 9:30. Now they're getting screwed in that they push up to they're not getting until 10:30.
Hey, better buy that executive membership.
Yeah, better buy the executive membership.
Yeah, that's how they make
All right, we'll see you at the next one.